I'm Stephanie Shen. I'm the Chief Product and Operations Officer for the U.S. Distribution Group at Henry Schein. Well, the first thing you do in any complex organization to drive alignment and making sure people are on the same board with people with different priorities and different job roles and functions is to make sure that everyone understands what you're trying to achieve. It's important to make sure that that common goal is the same amongst anybody within the organization, whether they're internal or external, in whatever project or deliverable you're trying to drive. And I think once you get that commonality and that trust that you're on the same bus as everyone else and driving to deliver the same goal, it really helps remove any obstacles and helps drive better achievement for whatever it is you're trying to do. As my roles have changed within Henry Schein, each step of the way, I've kept up the same intensity as I've had in the beginning of my career to try to make sure that I'm the best that I can in whatever it is that I'm doing. And I think the biggest lesson is to have that strong self-awareness. And for leadership skills, there's so many things that go into what your executive presence is like, and it can change depending on the situation that you're in. So knowing when you have to adjust, whether it's to the audience, to the complexity of the problem, to whatever it is your situation is being tested for your leadership, you really need to have that self-awareness to know which skills you need to focus on, which ones you need to really hone in on, and which ones you need to back off on. So it's not that one ever disappears or one takes precedence over the others. I would say that leadership is something that you're constantly adjusting and making sure that you bring your best self to the situation and adjusting to deliver what you need to do. To know me and my leadership style, you have to know a little bit about who I am and where I grew up. So my father was a real big influencer in my life, and he had his own family business, our family business actually, and he was used to being his own leader for many different things. And I remember early on in my career when I was working for him and I was facing a difficult situation with the team and stuff, one of the things he really wanted to impress upon me was the power of being flexible. And for me, that has always stayed. And he gave me this analogy that to this day I still remember because it was such a visual kind of impression for me. He always said that the tree that survived the storm is the one that is the most flexible. And I was like, wow, okay, that's really interesting. So I always remember that when I feel like I'm fighting a little too much, or maybe that balance in the room, whether it's a discussion or topic or whatever it is, when that balance feels a little off, I remember him always telling me to be flexible. Because if you can be flexible, it means that you're open to discussion, you're open to listening, and with any situation, if there's more discussion and being open to listen, most likely than not, you're going to come to a solution or some kind of a compromise.